Hi, Eddie here from Aussie Power Sports. I'm at the Aussie headquarters in North Queensland today with this 2024 Honda Pioneer 1000. The Pioneer 1000 had a facelift in 2022 and we'll be fitting our redesigned scrub bar kit and skid plate kit to this machine. The kit's been redesigned with the machine changes in mind to make fitting easier, as well as providing the most coverage we can and best protection we can. So I'm going to fit the skid plate kit first, and then I'm going to fit the scrub bar. Hi, Eddie here again. I've installed the skid plate and CV guard protection for the underbody, but if you are fitting skid plate and scrub bar together, I've just left the skid plate not completely rattled up home tight, because as I mentioned earlier, because we share some of the same mounting points, it's a lot easier if you've got a bit of movement in both the scrub bar and the skid plate as you're trying to line up bolts and all that sort of stuff. And then we get the scrub bar kit on loose, and then we tighten it all up together and can position it and get it right at the end. If you're not using our skid plate, this is where the scrub bar install will start. So the first step to installing the scrub bar is to remove this OE bar. There's 6 mounting bolts in the OE bar, 2 up here on each side and 1 down here on each side. Now they go into welded nuts on the machine itself, on the frame, so they can just be rattled out with a gun or socket or spanner. Now we will reuse these nuts and bolts to install our scrub bar, because our bar has the same mounting points. So this will slide out, our scrub bar will slide in. And there you go. So our scrub bar recreates these tubes that the upper bolts will go back through and thread back into their welded nuts on the inside of this frame, which gives you the most strength for mounting, as it's going directly into the front subframe there. So you can see we've recreated the same mounting points. We've got the tubes that'll slide into the frame, as well as slotted holes on the bottom, so that we can reuse all the same mounting hardware that came from the bike. And you can see the amount of extra protection this bar will give you over the OEM bar. Okay, we're ready to mount this bar to the bike. If you do feel there's a little bit of a misalignment issue between the mounts and the bike mounts, a bit of pressure with a strap or a clamp can help realign that again. And because of the weight of the bar, I do recommend 2 people for the first install. Lower. So once you got it in position, you should be able to just thread your OEM bolts back into the situation, into their welded nuts. And we get it on, we leave it with a bit of wiggle in it to give you more adjustment while putting the rest of the kit on. So a couple of tips with how to best order to bolt this on. As you're going into welded nuts with the OEM threads, just check and make sure they're nice and clean, don't have any dust or swarf or anything in them. Run the bolt or a tap through them if you think they need it. First bolts to get in are either side, the ones closest to the inboard of the machine, the ones at the back. Then the next one's at the front on the upper mount, out towards the bull bar, because they've got a slotted hole in the bull bar which gives you more room. And then your bottom one's last of all, because it gives you the most movement to be able to line up your holes with your bolts and your nuts. Okay, so once you've got your bull bar mounted and the bolts started, the next step is to put the upper side rail on. It's going to connect to the bull bar like so. We'll slide in over the tube here, a bolt into a welded nut here, and we're going to replace the two ROPS bolts with some longer ones, and it's also going to connect here. It's going to be nice and strong and protect all the side and front of the machine. Once that's hung, we'll then put on our lower side rail and rock slider, which will fix at this front plate here, up through the skid plate into the frame of the bike, and then at the rear, around the ladder chassis at the rear of the bike with another bracket. And it'll sit something like so. But we'll do the upper side rail first. We have these spring insert nuts. There's a hole in the back of the bull bar here. That'll go in like so. You can use that tail to give it some tension so it holds itself in place. That'll go over and we'll put a bolt up through there to locate that as well. But the first step here is to undo the ROPS bolts and then move on. So we've removed the OE ROPS bolts from this location for where we're going to mount the upper connection of the upper side rail. They're going to go back through here with a spacer, give you 3 connection points, which makes this a very strong kit. So the first step is to push this over the tube of the bull bar and get it roughly into location. Then we'll use the replacement bolts, which will go through the upper bracket, a spacer behind the upper bracket, which fits inside the cutout in the ROPS tube. And then we have nuts that go on the rear as well. You can see the actual ROPS on this bike. There's a fair bit of pressure involved. It's just due to manufacturing tolerances in the bike itself. So getting the bolts through back into the same location they came out of can require a bit of jiggling. So we've got that on now. I've left it loose again. We've just got the nuts started at the back. You can see there's still a gap between the actual 2 parts of the ROPS cage. And that's basically done loose. Now we're going to connect the lower rock slider with one of these spring nuts inserted in it as well. So push that in with the threaded nut lining up with the hole in the lower rock slider. And if you use a small screwdriver or Allen key, you can get the fine adjustment of getting the insert nut to line up exactly with the outside hole. Just want to get that bolt started like that. Sort of holds it in a rough position. Got an M8 bolt and nut through the upper connection on the lower rock slider. Just want to get that started as well. You can see that connection is done there now. So this is your lower rearmost bracket that goes around the chassis of the bike itself. So with this skid plate, it's going to sandwich the skid plate. There's a skid cutout in the skid plate to suit. This is the upper part of the bracket, which is the opposite of the lower bracket welded to the end of the pipe. And this is on the driver's side. So you see there's a brake line. So you need to feed the upper bracket in on the angle and slide it underneath the brake line, because you obviously don't want to pinch that and squash it. And you can see how the bracket works with the two hex head bolts to the outside, the two dome heads on the inside. The brake line can be unclipped at those white clips, just gives you a little bit more room so you can push it away from the machine to start the inner bolt, pull it back towards the chassis of the machine to start the outer bolt. And as you tighten it up progressively, and just remember to put it back into its location when you're finished. So on the passenger side, you've got the heat shield, which is easy enough to either push away or pull up and out. And again, just remembering to sort of put it back into where it was before you started. So I'm just using a quick clamp here to hold the lower rail up against the bottom of the chassis rail, just to hold it in location so you can use two hands to get the bolt started. So you just want to get the 4 bolts just to start, and then tighten them up sort of evenly like you would a wheel. Tighten one bolt up a few turns, then another one, then another one, then another one. If you tighten the outer 2 completely up before getting the inner 2 started, it'll just pull it up on an angle, and you won't be able to get them. So you want to just do them as you can. For the inner dome nuts, highly recommend using a socket with a Allen key drive in it. If you use an actual Allen key, you can only get about a quarter to a half of a turn each time, and it's a bit more painful. Can be done, but much easier with a ratchet and Allen key bit. Just by hand getting the last nip of the inner dome heads done up with an actual Allen key. You can get better access from behind rather than from the side for those bolts. Now the last connection to be done up is the lower plate connection. You have these 6mm bolts with a washer, then an oversized thick washer. They go up into welded nuts in the frame of the machine itself. The skid plate has cutouts or holes in the same location, so it goes up through the plate of the scrub bar, through the hole in the skid plate, and up into the factory welded nut. So I just got those sort of finger tight. That's what the bottom looks like when it's finished. And that's the basic, all the connections done loosely. So I've still got the skid plate loose. So as we go through and tighten everything up, get the scrub bar tightened up first, then tighten the skid plate as well.